going on? What's going on? What's going on? This is the Pitchfork Podcast. We're going to be having a conversation about some of the raccoonery that we've seen in the black community. Things that we cannot tolerate in the black community. Things that we should not be tolerating in the black community. In the background, I'm going to be playing a little bit of NBA 2K22. And I want to be able to have a little bit of fun with you tonight. Now, I'm going to have a conversation about several raccoons. We're going to look over some news articles. We're going to look over some people's statements. Because some people make some very, very slick comments. And I got to say, the raccoonery problem that we have in the black community is something that we got to talk about. We got to do something about because it's just at an all-time high. It's at an all-time high, man. I got to be honest with you. It's at an all-time high. It's something that we have to really tap down on, man. Like, you know, it's one of the biggest problems in the black community. We have an issue whereas we don't call out our coons. We don't ever want to call out our coons. And I don't know why. I mean, in America, amongst foundational black Americans, we call out our coons. Don't get me wrong. We absolutely call out our coons. But among the African diaspora, that is not the case. Among the African diaspora, you have people out here, right, who go out of their way to hide their coons, to not be honest about their coons. And then when you attempt to call them out, when you attempt to call out all the nonsense that happens in the African diaspora and beyond, what you will find is that you're going to get yourself attacked. My cat right here. Hey, Rue. My cat wants to get outside. Bye-bye. And my thing is, I find that the coon class in the African diaspora, it is something that we don't talk about a lot. We don't want to touch a lot. And I'm not sure why we avoid it. Because these people, the coon class, right? These people, you know, coon class, they are the ones that the white people bring over, you know, because everyone knows that white people don't necessarily want people from the African diaspora to come over here. They all know that. Everyone knows that. So what often happens is these people. Give me a second. I don't want to hear this guy talk. So let me desktop audio's off. Cool. But yeah, like the coon class that we have in this country, man, it is mostly coming from the African diaspora. And when we say that, right, we don't necessarily mean that only, you know, people in the African diaspora can be coons. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that people from the African diaspora oftentimes, you know, cover up for their coons, or they often hide them, or they often are not honest about them. And what I find oftentimes is that those are the people who are oftentimes used to represent us. Like, for example, Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is, you know, this woman hid evidence that could have exonerated a man. This woman prosecuted people for marijuana, for cannabis, you know, whatever you want to call it, you know, and she's doing that while she's also simultaneously saying that she was smoking it. You know, I mean, that's something that we in the black community, I don't think that we've actually come to freaking terms with. You know, I think that we honestly make a lot of excuses for, you know, that kind of behavior. And oftentimes what you'll find is that if that person is an immigrant or a woman, somehow that makes it okay. Like, for example, you look at like Walter Scott, right? Walter Scott, he got gunned down because he missed a freaking child support payment. And this is not to push him from some freaking gender divide between black people, between black men and black women. No, it's not everybody who actually buys into this stuff, but it's what the dominant white society uses as a weapon against our community as a freaking whole. You know, there's no need to worry about the freaking police, you know, devaluing your men if the dominant white society can't convince your women to actually do it for you, right? And it's my dog in the background. Stop. That's my dog. In fact. That's my dog down there. I apologize. That's my dog down there. Her name's Aphrodite. Anyways, but like I'm saying though, when you think about, you know, the long-term implications of some of the coonery and how we've allowed it for so long, you know, it definitely shows you that we letting in so many people from the diaspora without vetting these people, without worrying about these people, where they come from, and are they being artificially injected into this country to be a part of the freaking coon class, you know? Because what I find oftentimes is that whenever we have conversations about reparations, or whenever a white person wants to actually say something, a certain particular type of coon will pop up, right? You get coons from the LGBT community. You get coons who are from the African diaspora, and oftentimes those people mistake some of the distrust that you have towards those communities. It's not so much due to them being them. Is that those people are oftentimes I would say, the prototype for what you use to undermine black folks, right? Like, for example, if you get somebody who's a black transgender person, right? Oftentimes, those people will see themselves as trans first. They don't even see themselves as actually black first. You know? I don't know why you're doing it. Yeah, it's really interesting though. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. I mean, it's just when you begin to look at some of the overall issues that we have here in America and in the black community, oftentimes it comes down to people who belong to parts of the freaking diaspora and parts of communities that feel detached from the black community, because oftentimes they're used as weapons against the black community. Like, we have no issue with black LGBT folks. We voted for Marcel Dixon. You know, we have no problem with that. We have no problem with black transgender people. We have no issue with that. We love them. We just don't want them used as weapons against us, you know? And that's what many of them don't understand. Like, it's just really, really interesting how you can make that point and people are going out of their way to miss that point. You know, it's like they're trying to miss that point. And it's really unfortunate, you know, because when you look at some of the discrimination that some of the black immigrants face, you look at some of the discrimination that black transgender people face, you look at some of the discrimination that black gay men face, black lesbians face, right? Oftentimes these people relegate this to, oh, I'm being discriminated against because I'm gay or I'm trans. When the fact is, if you're black, it wouldn't matter what community you belong to. And please, let's not pretend like, you know, there's no protections for white gay people. Get out of here. You know, I've seen people get more upset at Dave Chappelle offending trans people, right? Than Dave Chappelle talking about, you know, in that one particular special, 846. Dave Chappelle getting more upset, right? Right? Dave Chappelle getting actually upset at the killing of George Floyd. People didn't walk out of Netflix then. In fact, people featured the same propaganda that you always saw on fucking Netflix. NYPD Blue, you know, Law and Order, every other propaganda show, right? Nobody walked their ass out of freaking Netflix then. And now that we know that SVU in freaking New York is actually a goddamn lie, is anybody walk out of fucking Netflix now? Nope. But they'll definitely walk out if Dave Chappelle offends somebody. Make it make sense. You had special after special after special about slavery. No one walked out when you had people on Netflix talking about how we don't actually deserve goddamn reparations and shit, right? No one walked out then, right? That wasn't offensive because it wouldn't offend a someone who's already a fucking coon, who's already fucking conditioned. And that's my issue with the freaking coon class that we see across the diaspora and also in certain communities. These people are dangerous because they condition the dominant white society to actually ignore us. They make it okay to be coons. They make it okay to undermine us. Because the way the dominant white society sees it, if the freaking coon justifies the bullshit, then it's okay. And that's the problem. That's why, like, for example, right? Say you got a particular workspace and you want to hire some more black people, so that you don't look like a bunch of racists, right? So the type of black people that you're going to hire are the coons. And then every other black person, right, that you hire from that point, it doesn't matter who you hire. Because you've already hired the coon. You've already hired the coon. And that coon's job, right, is to keep everybody else in place. Be the black overseer, essentially. And the one thing that many of these coons don't understand is that every black person gets their wake-up call. I thought I wouldn't. Everybody gets it. Everybody. Without exception. And so, with that being said, I find that oftentimes these coons will come around saying slick shit. Real slick shit. I mean, slick shit that they think we don't catch. Real slick shit, man. I'll give you a prime example, right? Give you a prime example. Let's pull up this real quick. I want you guys to see this. See this shit here. Talk about Michael Blackson real quick. Some of the disrespect some of these tellers have is it's astounding, man. Some of the disrespect these tellers have, man. Some of the disrespect these tellers have. It's just amazing to me. Let me turn on the desktop audio real quick. See, what this shows you is that there's a fundamental misunderstanding. There's a fundamental misunderstanding about some of these people in terms of the reason why we brought them here. These people think that we brought them here, right, to be buffers and reinforcers for white supremacists. And that's not the case. We brought you here to be reinforcements for us. That's why we brought you here. Right? We brought you here to be reinforcements for us. We didn't bring you here so that you can start cooning, for the white man. That's not why we brought you here. That's not why you brought you here. We brought you here so that you can attempt to be an ally to us. But let me give you something. Michael Blackson is a comedian. From Africa, African continent, the so-called motherland, right? And that's what it is, actually. This man said something real slick, and I want you to hear this, right? Michael Blackson does not want American kids, right? Right? He says that we are uncivilized. He calls us uncivilized. I want you guys to hear this. I'm gonna be somewhere. I want y'all to hear this real quick. He says that we are uncivilized. I want y'all to hear this, right? We uncivilized. It's very interesting.
And how many more kids do you plan on having?
I'm not trying to have them, but the way things are going on in America, I really don't know if I want kids in America.
Well, you just became a citizen.
Yeah, I mean, I want American kids. American kids are just, it's just something in this air that's, as soon as they come out the womb in the air, they just turn really bad.
So what?
So I want
So you,
I don't know what.
but what do you mean by that? Like as far as American kids that they just turn out bad? Like
Well,
go through that. Explain that a little better because that sounds just like okay, you waited for 30 something years to become American and now you're saying
right.
that you don't want American kids.
I said where I'm from, we are disciplined from an early age, and not just your parent discipline you, just your whole environment. So kids coming from Africa definitely, they're raised differently.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Kids coming from Africa are just raised differently. That kids where he comes from, right? They're just civilized.
And how many more kids do you
Kids that he comes from, they're just civilized. And that our children, man, our children are just uncivilized. That's a fascinating point. I want to look up something real quick. Let me not take this man out of context. I want to see Michael Blackson, comedian. I want to see where he's from. Cause see, these cats love pulling this, right? Let's see. Ghanaian, Liberian. Whoa. He was born in Liberia? Hold on, my nigga. Oh my God. You are born in Liberia. Have you ever heard of the Liberian Civil War, my nigga? Hold on. Let's look up something real quick. Liberian Civil War. It was a very interesting period. You said the kids there are very civilized, huh? Interesting. These are pictures of child soldiers, my friend. Oh, whoa. Hold on. I want to do something real quick. I'm gonna save some pictures, right? And I want to juxtapose to what the fuck he just said, because he said the kids were civilized. That's what he said. Liberian Civil War. Let me look. Child soldiers. He said the children over here are uncivilized. That's what this coon said. The children here are uncivilized. That's what this Negro said. So we're gonna test that damn theory. I mean, look. He said it, right? He said the children here, Michael Blackson, this Liberian from the African continent, this goddamn coon, said that our children were uncivilized. That is fascinating. Because I'm going to put some pictures on the screen. While I'm going to replay that clip. Because I want you guys to juxtapose that, right? He said the children here are uncivilized. That's what this Negro said. So we're going to test that damn theory. The children here are guys, remember, he said that. We're going cause see, I love challenging people. Live. I'm gonna add some more pictures here. Get this one here. He said that our children are uncivilized. That is fascinating. I'm gonna add those on the screen and then replay that clip. I want to see this. He said that our children are uncivilized. That is fascinating. So let's go back to that clip. I want to replay that. I want to hear that again. I want to hear that one more again. Now, he said our children are uncivilized. Now, I'll make sure that's lined up right. Yeah. All right, so. All right, so this comedian from Africa named Michael Blackson, he's from Liberia. He says that our children here in America are uncivilized, and the pictures that I put up here are from the Liberian Civil War. So he says that our children are uncivilized. I want you guys to hear this. I'm gonna put those pictures right there and play this clip, and I want you to decide if this man has a right to call our children uncivilized based on where he's from.
Plan on having?
I'm not trying to have them, you know, but the way things are going on in America, I really don't know if I want kids in America.
Well, you just became a citizen.
Yeah, I mean, I want American kids. You know, American kids are just, it's just something in this air that's, as soon as they come out the womb in the air, they just turn really bad.
So what?
So I don't know what
But what do you mean by that? Like, as far as American kids, that they just turn out bad? Like go through that.
Like your
Explain that a little
soldiers?
better, because that sounds just like, okay, you waited for 30-something years to become American, and now you're saying that you don't want American kids.
I said where I'm from.
Yeah. He's see these tethers like Michael Blackson. They will come to America and talk all that smack. You see those pictures I have on the left hand side? That's from the Liberian Civil War. He's from Liberia. They had child soldiers. In fact, there was a man named Joshua Milton Blahy, aka General Butt Naked. And General Butt Naked, he was called General Butt Naked because General Butt Naked, he had child soldiers, right? And he would give all those child soldiers heroin. And he would make them fight in the Liberian Civil War and kill and eat random people. I mean, he was a cannibal. And so he had those children killing and eating people. But our children are uncivilized. Our children are the uncivilized ones. Interesting. You see these child soldiers here? I am so sick of these tethers talking shit about my people. I am so sick of these tethers talking shit about my people. When you come from filth, you come from child soldiers, you come from female genital mutilation. You had children killing and eating people in Liberia where you were born, sir. So when you come to my country that my people built, have some goddamn respect. See, they pull this shit on people like some people who just don't know world history. But see, I know the history. I've been to the African continent. How can you come here and say children here are uncivilized when back in your home country you had one of the most memorable civil wars in modern history? Mainly because you had bands of cannibals going from village to goddamn village eating people. How dare you, sir? How dare you? Give me a quick second. Let me take down some of these pictures because I want you guys to see. You see all this stuff?
Your whole.
He said we are disciplined from the early age.
Discipline from an early age, and not just your parent discipline you, just your whole environment. You know, so kids coming from Africa definitely, you know, they're raised differently.
And
you said they're raised differently. I mean, he is right. They are raised differently. Hold on. He said the children in where he comes from are raised differently. The child soldiers in Liberia, you're right. They're very much raised differently. Oh my God. The first Liberian War happened in 1989. That was 3 years after I was born. That was within my lifetime. Meaning that if I was born in that country, I could have been a freaking child soldier. Right? In the second Liberian War, right? Didn't end until 2003. That's within a lot of our lifetimes. They had child soldiers back then. This man was around then. Okay? And he's going to come over here in the country when he was born. Hold on. Let's look up again. When was Michael Blackson born? Because hold on. He's 49 years old. This man is 49 years old, meaning that, wait a minute. Wait. Wait. Sir, you have no right to talk. He probably fought in the Liberian Civil War as a child soldier. Woo! How dare you, sir? How dare you? How dare you? Wow. Wow. This man comes over here and calls our children uncivilized. Meanwhile, the children that he comes from fight in civil wars where people get eaten. Like it's a zombie. It's Resident Evil without the goddamn T virus, baby. It's 28 days later without the damn rage virus, baby. How dare you, sir? Watch your damn mouth, you goddamn tether, okay? Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Seriously. Watch your mouth. Because I'm sick of all the disrespect, okay? And that brings me into another thing, right? Some of the tethers who come from the African diaspora. Now, there is definitely some coons among foundational black Americans. Don't get me wrong. I'm never going to deny that. There is no way I'm going to deny that. You will get no denial from me on that one. However, let's also be honest about some of the problems here. Disproportionately, you will find that there is a disproportionate amount of coons coming from the African diaspora, because we are supposed to have a fair amount of coons because we are the majority of the black people here. It makes kind of makes sense. But when there's a disproportionate amount of coons coming out of the Caribbean, that's a problem. Okay. Coons like Candace Owens, I don't understand how anyone ever took this woman seriously, right? She says that there's no such thing as systemic racism, and yet I find out, and like everybody found out, she has lawsuits with the NAACP where she's suing people saying, hey, there's racism there. I mean, I've known that since the beginning, but knowing that now, how do you juxtapose that to what she is now, right? How do you do that? I gotta know. The Freedom Phone, right? The Freedom Phone. Do you remember the Freedom Phone? The Freedom Phone cost $500. The phone was made in China. This woman was supposed to be a Donald Trump supporter, but it was made in China. They said America first, but it was made in China. I want you to think about that for a second. America first, but made in China. It was a phone made for goddamn boomers and gullible people. And there were people who actually bought that bullshit. It was preloaded with damn Parler and damn Rumble. Really? You can't download that shit yourself? Which lets you know the kind of audience that she's pandering to. She's not pandering to the people who are the intellectual juggernauts. When MAGA brings their people, to borrow a popular phrasing from Donald Trump, they're not bringing their best. So with that being said, you can see how this boomer phone went up in flames very, very quickly. And Grifter Owens, she had no hesitation, no issue with taking your money. That is what she does. She took money in lawsuit, took money from the boomer phone, and it just continues and continues and continues, right? You know, she wanted to go against Apple and Google. I'm not sure how you expected somebody from the Caribbean or with lineage to the Caribbean, right? Lineage to the Caribbean was going to build something that's going to top out Apple and Google, when if that was the case, she would have got that popping in the goddamn Caribbean. But you know, we're gonna just we're gonna leave that alone. I'm not gonna even touch that one, right? She went after Naomi Osaka, right? And the question becomes, Candace, what is it in your background, in your resume, that would even remotely compare to Naomi Osaka? See, Naomi Osaka is going to go down as one of the best in her sport. You're going to go down as one of the, well, you probably are one of the best grifters. But in terms of talent, this ain't a difference between like like a mice and a freaking mouse and like an elephant. This is more of a difference between a microbe and Thanos. Yeah. The woman was just trying to prioritize her mental health, and Candace Owens doesn't understand that, because Candace Owens is, well, kind of a psychopath, narcissist, you know. And people having mental health problems, that doesn't matter to her. I'm not worried about no Chrissy Teigen. Lawsuit with the NAACP. That is fascinating. Oh man, let's read it more. Oh, let's actually quote here from News One. Owens now calls the NAACP one of the worst groups for black people, even though the organization helped her win a racial discrimination lawsuit. Woo! The people who still defend Candace Owens, it is fascinating that you do. It is fascinating that you do. Says here, in 2007, she accused some white boys of racially harassing and threatening to kill her. Owens claimed the boys were the son of then Stanford Mayor Daniel Malloy, Connecticut's former governor. Because of the NAACP, Owens' family received a settlement of $37,500 from Stanford Public Schools. Scott V. Esdale, the Connecticut NAACP president who helped Owens with the lawsuit, was shocked to hear she had become a conservative. Esdale told Mike, "We're very saddened and disappointed in her. It seems to me that she's now trying to play a different type of demographic." He also said that it's the same thing Clarence Thomas did. Thomas reaped all the benefits of affirmative action and then tried to roll over on it. It's the kind of mentality. It's that kind of mentality and disrespect. Anti-Trump website. I thought that she was a Trump girl. I thought she said Donald Trump was the best president in history. These hoes ain't loyal. In May of 2018, BuzzFeed reported that Candace Owens was the CEO of an anti-Trump, liberal-leaning website called Degree 180. Owens wrote in 2015 that it was good news that the Republican Tea Party will eventually die off peaceably in their sleep, we hope. Degree 180 also talked about Trump's penis size and him being racist with an immigrant wife. Damn! The site reportedly shut down by the end of 2016, and Owens magically came out as a conservative on YouTube a few months later. That is fascinating. Oh man, that is interesting. That's interesting. You know, grifters are gonna grift. Speaking of grifters, speaking of people who don't really belong in the black community, let's talk about Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is like the Anthony Hopkins show. She's blackish. She's not really black in my opinion. She's got a father who's from India. I mean, don't see the black at all. But let's talk about the rampant prosecutorial abuses, though, that nobody wants to talk about, right? Right? Oh, man. She abused her office. She would go out of her way to hide information that would have freed innocent people, right? And she would often do this. And people don't understand that Kamala Harris, she's the freaking police. It's hard to say that she wasn't. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not even going to bother going to all kind of stats, man. Fuck all that. This woman's from California, right? California. And anybody from California would tell you, right? Anybody would tell you that Kamala Harris, being from California and how they railroad black folks there, how you've got people who are locked up for even the smallest of offenses, and one of the reasons why the budget in California is so high is because of that. One of the reasons why people have been paying taxes out the fucking wazoos because of the budget of the police, the budget of the courts, the budget of the prosecutor's office, the budget of the attorney general, and also the budget of the prison industrial complex in the state of California. You can't have that many people there, that many problems, and yet have that much animosity towards the police and law enforcement in general, and also to the prison industrial, also towards the prison industrial complex, and towards the government in general in California, if that were not the case. Kamala Harris locked away a lot of people. Didn't matter what color that they were. And that's why right now you noticing that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they immediately, you see this shit, this fake shit here, fake ass picture here, right? This is why Joe Biden and Kamala Harris immediately started funding the freaking police. Which makes it odd that people like Brandon Tatum and the conservative twins don't like Kamala Harris. She's the best thing that could have ever happened to them. I mean, let's be honest. They're all coons. They all love the freaking police. They hate black men. And on top of that, they all really, really like Joe Biden. They love Joe Biden. They talking about police, it didn't work out for Brandon Tatum. Talking about police did not work out for Brandon Tatum. That's why he went to freaking politics. Right? Let's talk about some of the rift in the African community, right? And also the Black American community. Okay, Africa. The ongoing rift between African immigrants and African Americans. Foundation of Black Americans. I wish they would use that term a little bit better. Right? Could Pan-Africanism be the way forward? Fuck no. Right? Right? No. The source of the tensions, African immigrants in America not only have to navigate systemic racism, but also microaggressions within African American spaces. Wow. So they're blaming us. They're blaming us. No. The reason why you get treated the way that you get treated is mainly because you come over to our countries and start shit. The only reason why your ass is even here in the first fucking place is that we fought for you to get here. But whenever we expect for you to give a little bit of respect, a little bit of help against white supremacy, you side with the fucking white supremacists. That disrespect that you've shown, that's the reason why a lot of us don't fuck with you no more. If you're honest about the source of the problem, then maybe there can be a damn solution. But if you just gonna bullshit the whole time, well, then there is no solution. And there shouldn't be one. There shouldn't be one. We shouldn't tolerate disrespect. No, I mean, I'm at the point right now, whereas I'm tired of everybody lying about the origin. No, it does matter who the fuck started. It does matter. It does matter. I don't give a fuck how much you claim it doesn't. It does matter. And if you don't want to actually admit that, then I can't talk about it. You want me to change my mind? Start being fucking honest. You started it. And now, we are clapping back. Now we're saying no more disrespect. Now we're saying you disrespect us, we won't help you no more. That's why a lot of us are actually anti-immigrant now. And to be honest with you, I'm getting to that fucking point. Because honestly, I've tried to have a freaking alliance with the freaking, Hispanic community. Many people in the freaking African diaspora. That shit is not working out for us. It really, really isn't. I'm trying. But I need a little bit of budging on your end. Not my end no more. Fuck that. I'm tired of that shit. No more budging. You come here from the African diaspora, you show fucking respect. If not, we can stop fighting for your ass to even come here in the first goddamn place. I don't give a shit if you say, oh, that's bigoted. I don't give a shit no more. You wanna know why? Because you talk shit even when I was damn nice. So now we're getting some goddamn straightening, okay? You want our help continuously? Then guess what? There comes a price with that. Respect. If not, take your ass home and do all the shit that you want us to goddamn do. If not, if you think that we're so bad, we're so horrible, our men so sexy, then take your ass home then. If not, shut the fuck up. I am so tired of people coming to my country talking shit about my people. If you had it so damn popping, you would take your ass home and show me how the fuck it's done then. Until then, I don't want to hear no opinion from no damn immigrant. Because it's at the goddamn point where your opinion ain't even working with where the fuck you got them come from. So I want to hear from motherfuckers who are actually effective. Live it how you talk it. Live it how you talk it. You give me advice, that's cool. You better be damn followed it. Period. Period. I'm tired of people coming over from freaking, Haiti. I feel like abortion is a big issue. How come Clarence Thomas doesn't want us to have abortions? How come abortion is outlawed in fucking Haiti? Shut your ass up. I don't want to hear that shit. Well, American men are sexist because they don't want to let us have abortion. Well, what the fuck are Haitian men then? Since abortion is not legal where you come from, what are Haitian men then, huh? Sexist? Super sexist then? Sexist plus fucking ultra, huh? What are they then, huh? I'm tired of everybody coming over here talking greasy, talking sideways about my fucking people, about my communities, about my country. If you don't like it here, if you think that freaking black people or black men or black anything is a damn problem, then take your ass back to your homeland and show me how the fuck it's done. Until then, we don't need your fucking opinion. And that's real. So, anyways, until next time, horns up, peace out, good night, and good luck.